Every few decades, a voice emerges that sounds like it was sent from another world. In the early 1990s, Jamaica was at a crossroads. The music scene was dominated by hardcore gun talk and slackness. The spiritual roots sound of the 70s seemed like a fading memory. Then came a young man from Mandeville with a voice like velvet and a heart full of fire. His name was Garnett Silk. He wasn't just another singer. Within 2 short years, he became a cultural phenomenon. The elders called him the Chosen One. The youth called him the new Bob Marley. He was the leader of the conscious revolution, bringing Rastafari back to the charts. But at the height of his fame, just as he signed a massive global deal with Atlantic Records, the music stopped on a dark night in December 1994. A mysterious explosion and a horrific fire silenced the voice of a generation. He was only 28 years old. Was it a freak accident? Or was there something more sinister behind the flames? Today, we go deep into the mystery of Garnett Silk, the man who was destined for the throne, but taken by the fire. Born Garnett Damian Smith, he started as a DJ under the name Bimbo. He was talented, but he hadn't found his soul yet. It was his friend, the legendary Tony Rebel, who encouraged him to stop DJing and start singing. When Garnett switched to singing, the world shifted. His voice had a vibrato that carried the pain and hope of centuries. Songs like Zion in a Vision, It's Growing, and Fill Us Up With Your Mercy weren't just hits, they were hymns. By 1994, Garnett Mania had taken over Jamaica. He was the most sought-after artist on the island. He brought a sense of holiness back to the dance hall. He proved that you didn't need to sing about violence to be the biggest star in the world. Atlantic Records saw him as the next global superstar, the man who would finally fill the shoes Bob Marley left behind. However, Garnett's rise was shadowed by strange events. He was a deeply spiritual man, often speaking in riddles about his time being short. During his final performances, fans noticed an intensity that bordered on the supernatural. In one of his last recording sessions, it was reported that he was working on music that felt like a farewell. Even more chilling were the physical signs. Garnett had been struggling with exhaustion. Some say the pressure of being the new messiah of music was weighing on him. He decided to take a break and return to his mother's house in Hatfield, Manchester, to seek peace and spiritual grounding. He wanted to be with the woman who raised him at Anna Smith. He didn't know he was walking into a tragedy that would haunt Jamaica forever. December 9, 1994, Garnett was at his mother's house. They were sitting together, talking about the future, in the house were his brothers and a few friends. Around midnight, a fire broke out. The official report states that a gas cylinder caught fire and exploded. The house was quickly engulfed in flames. Garnett, his brothers, and his friends managed to escape the burning building. They were safe outside. But then, Garnett realized his mother was still trapped inside. Without a second thought, the Prince of Reggae ran back into the inferno. He fought through the smoke and the heat to reach his mother. He found her, but the roof collapsed. The fire was too hungry. Garnett Silk and his mother died in each other's arms. When the sun rose over Mandeville the next morning, the house was a pile of ash. The voice that was supposed to save reggae was gone. Almost immediately, questions began to swirl. How does a gas tank just explode? Garnett was a high-profile artist who had just signed a multi-million-dollar international deal in the competitive and sometimes violent world of the 90s music industry. Rumors of foul play were everywhere. Some theorized that jealous rivals or bad-mind individuals had targeted him. Others pointed to the fact that Garnett had become a threat to the status quo of the industry. Was the fire set intentionally? There were reports of strange men seen near the property earlier that day. There were claims that the fire started too fast for a simple gas leak. Despite the rumors, the official cause remained an accident. But for the people of Jamaica, an accident felt too small for such a massive loss. The mystery remains. Was Garnett Silk a victim of fate, or a victim of the very Babylon he sang against? The death of Garnett Silk didn't end the conscious revolution, it fueled it. Artists like Luciano and Sizzla picked up the mantle. But the music was never quite the same. Garnett Silk was only with us for a moment. Like a shooting star that burns bright and disappears, he left behind only one full-length studio album. It's growing, but that one album is considered a masterpiece of the genre. He proved that though Bob Marley's spirit wasn't tied to one person, it was a vibration that could be reborn. He sacrificed his life to save his mother, an act of mama love that mirrored the purity of his lyrics. Garnett Silk once sang, "Zion in a vision, a place of high degree, many believe he is finally in that place." What is your favorite Garnett Silk song? Do you believe his death was an accident? Or do you think there is more to the story? Let us know in the comments if you want to keep the history of reggae alive. Like this video and subscribe to Reggae Roots. One love. Rest in power. Garnett Silk.